Queen Claire stood at the edge of the broken wall, looking over the colony. The red dust of the planet swirled around her feet. The buildings were damaged and the walls were scarred from the last raid. She tightened her grip on her staff and turned to her commander. "Jake, we are outnumbered," she said. "If they come again, we might not survive." Jake nodded. He was tall and strong with eyes that never showed fear. "We will hold them," he said. "We have no choice." Lily, a young woman who had learned to fight since she was a girl, ran up to them. The smoke from the ruins made her cough. "Claire," she said, "we need help. The people are scared. Some are hiding in the cellars." Ben and Sam, two of the workers who had been trained as fighters, were helping the children down into the shelters. They moved quickly, carrying the youngest on their shoulders. The colony had no walls strong enough to keep the raiders out, and no weapons that could match their firepower. Claire closed her eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. She thought about the message she had sent into space. It was a desperate call, a plea for help. The stars might hear it, but she did not know if anyone would come. The colonists moved quietly, following the orders of their leaders. Every sound was sharp in the dry wind. They could hear the distant thumps of engines and the occasional scream that broke through the stillness. The fear in the eyes of the people was heavy. Claire felt it pressing down on her. Jake placed a hand on her shoulder. "We cannot wait any longer. The raiders will attack before night. We have to prepare." Claire nodded. She walked among the colonists, giving orders, helping to position barricades and sharpen sticks for defense. Lily joined her, carrying a small bag of tools and makeshift weapons. Together, they moved through the colony, making sure everyone was ready. As the sun dipped below the jagged mountains, the sky turned red and black. The shadows stretched across the colony. Claire looked up at the sky, hoping for something, anything. She whispered a name. "Ryan, Kate, someone, please come." The first sound of engines came faintly. A distant hum that made the hairs on the back of her neck stand. Ran to the top of the tallest wall with Jake. He could see small shapes in the sky, moving faster than any ship the colony had built. Lily ran up behind them. "Are they real?" she asked. Claire nodded. "They are coming." The shapes grew larger, powerful ships descending through the thick atmosphere. The colonists stared in awe and fear. The ships landed with force, kicking up dust and stones. From them emerged humans, tall and strong, with armor and weapons unlike anything the colony had seen. The Deathworlders of Earth had arrived. They moved with precision and speed, scanning the horizon for threats. Claire stepped forward and waved. "We need your help," she shouted over the wind. The humans nodded and split into groups, moving toward the colony and its perimeter. Jake turned to Claire. "They are not like us," he said. "They are stronger, faster, and they fight differently." Claire felt hope rise in her chest. Finally, the colony might have a chance. She looked at Lily, Ben, and Sam. "Stay close," she said. "They will protect us." The colonists watched as the new warriors prepared for battle. The raiders would not wait long, and soon the skies and lands would be filled with the sound of combat. Claire clenched her fists. The fight was coming, but for the first time, she felt that maybe they could survive it. The ships hovered above the colony, casting long shadows on the red ground. Humans in heavy armor poured out, moving with precision. Claire watched them, feeling a mixture of awe and relief. These were Deathworlders, trained to survive and fight in the harshest conditions. They were here to protect them. Captain Ryan approached Claire and Jake. He was tall, with a scar running down his cheek, eyes sharp and steady. "We heard your call," he said. "We will help." Claire nodded, her voice firm. "The raiders are coming soon. They have weapons we cannot match." Ryan glanced at the colony, taking in the damage and the frightened faces of men, women, and children. "We will hold them," he said. "We need your people to follow instructions and stay behind the barricades." Kate, another Deathworlder, checked the weapons and supplies they brought. She was quick, strong, and always alert. She looked at Lily and Ben. "You two will assist in distributing armor and basic training. Teach them to defend themselves." Lily and Ben moved quickly, handing out helmets, shields, and modified rifles. The colonists were hesitant at first, but under the guidance of the Deathworlders, they gained confidence. Even the children learned to duck and run for cover, to listen to commands, to fight if necessary. Claire walked with Ryan and Jake along the perimeter. The Deathworlders had already set up traps and barricades in strategic positions. These were not ordinary humans. They seemed to anticipate every move of the enemy. Ryan explained their strategies to Claire. We block here, we push them there, and we lure the stronger groups into the traps. Timing is everything. Jake nodded. He watched the Deathworlders move with speed and strength, lifting heavy barriers and checking weapons with precise movements. The colonists had never seen anything like it. Even the strongest men like Sam were impressed and a little scared. The sun dropped lower, painting the sky with deep reds and purples. Claire knew the raiders would attack before nightfall. She returned to the wall, watching the Deathworlders patrol and organize. Kate trained small groups, showing them how to aim, how to move, and how to survive if they were surrounded. Suddenly, a scout came running toward the colony, dust kicking up under his feet. Claire ran to meet him. He spotted a group of raiders moving closer, already armed and ready. The scout warned of a small squad coming to test the defenses. Ryan barked orders, dividing his team. A few Deathworlders moved to the front, setting up a small line of resistance. They wanted to show the raiders the power that had arrived. Claire felt her heart beat faster. The moment of truth was near. The raiders reached the outskirts, and the first shots were fired. The Deathworlders were precise and lethal, taking out attackers before they could reach the colony. Claire watched as the battle began, her mind focused on the safety of her people. Lily, Ben, and Sam followed the instructions, moving through the colony, helping those in danger. The fight was intense, but controlled. The raiders did not expect humans trained for Deathworld conditions. One by one they fell back, confused and frightened by the strength and skill of the defenders. Claire felt hope rise. Maybe they could survive this after all. As the sun disappeared behind the horizon, the colony stood ready for the main attack. The Deathworlders had arrived, and with them, the chance to fight back and protect the people. Claire looked at Ryan and Kate. Together, she thought, we can win. They are not just humans, they are Deathworlders, and they are here for us. The first wave of raiders had been driven back, but Claire knew the battle was far from over. The horizon was dark with the approaching army, faster and larger than anyone had imagined. She turned to Jake. We hold the walls and protect the people, she said. Every second counts. The Deathworlders moved with purpose. Ryan and Kate led groups to different points, checking weapons, positioning barricades, and ensuring everyone was ready. The colonists watched, learning from their precision and strength. Even Lily and Ben moved with more confidence, helping direct groups of defenders. The ground shook as the raiders arrived in full force. Explosions rocked the outskirts of the colony. Smoke and fire filled the air. Claire shouted orders, keeping calm while the children and weaker colonists moved to safer areas. Sam helped carry an injured man away from the battlefield. The raiders were relentless, but the Deathworlders were faster, stronger, and smarter. They used the terrain to their advantage, luring raiders into traps, ambushing groups, and cutting off reinforcements. Ryan fought with precision, striking down enemies in moments, while Kate moved among the defenders, encouraging them, correcting mistakes, and taking out threats near the barricades. Claire took up a weapon and joined the fight. She moved through the colony with determination, her eyes on the raiders, her mind focused on keeping her people alive. She saw Lily throw a makeshift grenade, knocking down a group of attackers. She saw Ben push a barricade into place, just in time to stop a small squad. Jake led a team to the front line, holding a position that seemed impossible. They fought side by side with the Deathworlders, their movements coordinated, deadly, and precise. The raiders had never faced humans like this before. They were strong, fearless, and willing to die to protect the colony. The fight moved through the streets and across the open fields. Explosions shook the ground, and fire lit the night sky. The colonists screamed, but the Deathworlders were always near, protecting them, directing them, and striking at the raiders. Claire felt pride and hope rise with every move. They were learning to survive, to fight, to hold their ground. In the thick of the battle, Ryan and Kate took on the strongest raiders. Their strength and speed amazed the colonists. One by one, they fell. Claire noticed how each Deathworlder worked with a team, always covering each other, moving as one unstoppable force. The raiders began to hesitate, confused by the skill and courage of the defenders. Small groups tried to retreat, only to be caught by traps set by the Deathworlders. Claire saw the tide turning. For the first time, she felt that victory was possible. The colonists fought alongside the Deathworlders, their fear replaced with determination. Every street, every barricade, every position held was a message to the raiders. We will not fall. Claire and Jake moved through the colony, helping where needed, inspiring their people to stand and fight. As the battle raged, the Deathworlders continued to press forward, pushing the raiders back. The sky was filled with fire and smoke, but the colony still stood. Claire looked at Lily, Ben, and Sam. They were bruised, tired, but alive. Ryan approached Claire, wiping sweat and dust from his face. "They are retreating," he said. "The main force is broken." Claire nodded, relief flooding through her. The colony was still standing, battered but alive. She turned to the people around her. "You survived today," she said. "And tomorrow, we will be ready again." The Deathworlders of Earth had arrived, and with them, hope and strength the colony had never known. Night had fallen over the colony, but the danger was far from over. The raiders regrouped in the shadows, planning another attack. Claire walked along the barricades with Jake, checking on the people and giving orders. The colony had survived the first wave, but she knew the next would be stronger. Ryan and Kate organized the Deathworlders into patrols and defensive positions. Every corner, every alley, every hill was watched. They placed traps and prepared for any surprise attacks. The colonists helped, learning quickly under their guidance. Even Lily and Ben were confident now, helping to direct smaller groups and keep everyone calm. Suddenly, a scout shouted from the edge of the colony. The raiders were coming, larger in number, with heavy weapons and beasts carrying explosives. Claire raised her hand and the colonists readied themselves. The barricades shone in the moonlight, weapons in hand. The first group of raiders hit the outer walls. Explosions shook the ground. The Deathworlders moved like shadows, striking with speed and precision. Ryan cut down a raider carrying a heavy gun, while Kate threw a net trap that took down 3 more. The colonists watched in awe and fear, but they held their ground. Claire ran along the line, giving orders and encouraging people. Lily and Sam helped the wounded while Ben moved supplies and ammunition. The colony was alive with movement, every person playing a part. The raiders tried to break the barricades, but the Deathworlders anticipated each move. They pulled traps, created barriers, and fought with unmatched skill. Jake led a small group to flank the attackers, taking them by surprise and breaking their advance. The battle raged across the streets and open fields. Explosions lit the night sky. Smoke and fire covered the colony, but the defenders remained strong. Claire fought alongside Ryan, taking down raiders who reached the inner areas. Their combined strength inspired the colonists to keep fighting. A group of raiders breached one section carrying heavy explosives. Kate ran to intercept, jumping over barricades and taking them down before they could detonate. The explosion they tried to set off shook the ground, but it was stopped in time. The Deathworlders worked as one, covering each other, moving with speed and intelligence. Claire watched and learned, using every tactic she could think of to protect her people. The colonists fought bravely, no longer helpless, following orders and fighting alongside the experienced warriors. A loud roar came from the main gate as the largest raider group charged. Ryan led the charge, and Claire followed. The fight was brutal and fast, each strike counting. Jake pushed forward with the colonists holding their line and preventing the enemy from breaking through. Slowly, the raiders began to retreat, beaten and confused by the defenders' strength and courage. The Deathworlders did not let them regroup, pursuing the remaining attackers and pushing them off the colony. Claire looked around. The colony was damaged, but it still stood. People were tired, bruised, and shaken, but alive. Ryan approached Claire, breathing hard. "We held them back," he said. "Now they are gone." Claire nodded, relief filling her chest. "We survived," she said. "The fight is not over, but tonight, we showed we could stand against them." She turned to her people, proud and determined. Together, she thought, we will not just survive, we'll be ready for anything. The Deathworlders had proven their strength, and the colony had learned to fight alongside them. The first light of dawn broke over the colony, revealing the destruction from the battle. Smoke still rose from broken buildings, and the ground was scarred with fire and footprints. Claire walked through the streets with Jake, checking on the survivors and assessing the damage. The Deathworlders moved among the colonists, helping carry supplies, treat injuries, and rebuild barricades. Ryan and Kate organized teams to clear rubble and repair damaged walls. Even the youngest colonists were now alert and ready, learning from the humans who had saved them. Claire gathered the people in the central square. "Today we survived," she said. "Tomorrow, we will be stronger. The colony is ours to protect." The crowd nodded, some weary, others proud, but all determined. Lily stepped forward, holding a small group of fighters she had trained. "We can fight," she said, "can protect our homes." The crowd murmured with encouragement. Ben and Sam helped distribute new weapons and supplies, preparing everyone for future threats. Ryan spoke with Claire privately. "Your people are strong," he said. "They learned fast, and they fought well. The colony can stand on its own with guidance," Claire nodded. "I will not let them fall again." She thought of the battles yet to come, the dangers that waited beyond the horizon. With the Deathworlders here, the colony had a chance to survive anything. Kate joined them, pointing toward the outer fields. "There are scouts still out there," she said. "Some raiders escaped. We need to be ready if they return." Jake checked the defenses and organized patrols. Colony had survived the worst attack, but vigilance was key. Every gate, every wall, every lookout point was prepared for defense. The people had changed. They were no longer helpless. Claire walked among the colonists, seeing the determination in their eyes. The children were no longer afraid to help, the men and women ready to fight if needed. She felt pride in their courage and in the strength they had discovered within themselves. In the evening, the sun set slowly, painting the sky with gold and red. Claire stood on the wall with Ryan and Kate. "We won today," she said, "but tomorrow we must be ready." Ryan nodded. "Together," she said, "we can protect this place, and we can build a future." The Deathworlders remained with the colony, training and guiding, ensuring that no threat would overwhelm them again. Claire looked at Lily, Ben, Sam, and the others. They were bruised and tired, but alive and strong, had fought and survived. The colony had learned a lesson in courage and strength. They would never be helpless again. The people were ready to face whatever came next. The bond between the colonists and the Deathworlders of Earth had grown strong, and with that bond, they had hope for the future. As night fell, Claire watched the stars, thinking of the distant Earth that had sent these warriors. She smiled, knowing they were not alone. The Deathworlders had arrived, and humanity would endure. The colony would rise, stronger, prepared, and united. They had waited helplessly, but now they had power, courage, and allies who would stand with them against any enemy.